What up? What up, everybody? It's me, boy M.O.I, man. We're back in the building for another amazing installation with your boy M.O.I podcast. Brought to you by Crom TV, the network. I'm gonna call it the Crom TV network. Y'all just wait and see. Good to be a favor tonight. We're unfortunately not able to stream over on our Facebook page, which gets us the most hits. So I need you guys to help me out and share this right now, please. Sorry about that. Share this right now if you can. Share this live. Get these views up. And of course, on Sundays, this is kind of our Sunday school edition. Got the high priest here too, so he can get to some Gematria name readings tonight. So if you can get your name read last Sunday, you might have a chance this Sunday. Before we get to that, I need you guys to go ahead right now. I said this last time before the high priest even came on. I said last time, go ahead and send me an email. And in the email response, I'll send you the link to book your session with the high priest. So here's the email. Fair warning. I will not show this email again. Yes, I will. But y'all get what I'm saying. So without further ado, the one and only, the high priest. Peace and light, good brother.
What's good?
Man, we in here. Another soul day, another Sunday, they say.
Yeah, it's very powerful day, man.
Absolutely, brother. Tell people who you are, good brother.
Well, I'm the high priest, Antwon. We're doing great things over here, helping people to identify who they are based off the energy in their names. And that right there is everything you need to know to navigate this celestial universe that we call Earth. So without that information, man, it's going to be a little challenging to really figure out life at your perspective and what it means to you.
That's what's up. There it is. And you over on TikTok as well, right?
I'm on TikTok. Catch me, High Priest Antwon, TikTok.
Get on it. So, as I spoke a little bit earlier, peace everybody in the chat. The chat is lighting up. I appreciate y'all. I need everybody in the chat to please hit the share button, like button. Let's try to get those views up. Again, we're working with a handicap tonight. We're not able to stream from the main Facebook page. So we're totally relying on YouTube views tonight. But it's enough of us on here. Especially if you guys hit that share button and let everybody know to follow you. Hey, come check this out. Call to action. Thank y'all. So, as I said earlier, bro, I just figured that we start with some Sunday school lessons. That's what I call it. Sunday school lesson.
Yeah.
And of course, add value wherever you see fit. And we'll take the latter part of the show for you to get into some name calling. Literally, some name calling. And let the people know what time it is. And it's some names on here. It is some name. Well, we use their real name, I guess, but you just need your real name. That's it.
Get your real name in so we can go ahead and do all the potent things that we do best for the purpose of helping you identify some real powerful things. Because this is a diagnostic. So let's get that checkup.
Now, we're supposed to went live at 7:30. That didn't go as planned for me. Because I know today's Sunday, and the big thing on Sunday is Sunday dinner. My mom wanted to eat last minute, so I had to go do that. Push the show back to 9. But here we are anyway. So make sure y'all share this, man. We're 6 minutes into the show. Of course, let's do some house maintenance. Let's see who's in the chat real quick. Solo 5K is always in the building. Peace and love. Mula Rebel Squad. What's going on? What go on? Monique Hill in the building. Yes, sir. Hey, go to get y'all pens and pads too, man. Get your pen and paper out. Go ahead and get your pen and paper. Get your pen and paper out. You know what time it is. Take notes. Pen and paper gang, stand up. Lovely abundance. Love, light, peace, and collective. Peace, peace, and light. Miss Brooks in the building. Peace and light. Appreciate y'all. Hey, to the ladies real quick. Monique, lovely abundance, and Mita. Y'all tap in on Fridays too. Tap in on Fridays. Outside of us building this Sunday crowd, that we're also building up the Friday crowd with the sisters.
Medina, what's good?
You know what I'm saying? It was a powerful session on here. This past Friday is a real powerful session on here, sisters. So y'all make sure y'all tap in every Friday and Sunday. Friday and Sunday to get the whole mind, body, soul experience. That's what I'm thinking. Then we hit y'all with the actual retreat date. We're just giving y'all appetizers right now. You know what I'm saying? So we should tap in on Friday and Sunday, especially you sisters. I want everybody to tap in every day, every time we go live, but there's something for y'all. Who else in the building? Wayne Will in the building. What's going on? The L's in the bays or the wheels in the ways. Oh, they tapping in now. There we go. It's more like it. The L's in the bays or the wheels in the ways. Peace and light, peace and light, peace and light. Pen and paper gang in the building. Pen and paper gang in the building. All right. Look, she already ready. Rashawn, I'm sorry. Bro, look, Rashawn put his name in the chat already. He ready.
Let's go. He ready. Yo, he definitely got his name in there. He like, yo, I'm ready. Let's go.
I'm first up.
Yeah. Listen. I real quick.
Go ahead.
Real quick, because I know you about to bust it down. But just because he put his name in the chat first, I'm gonna just these people, the Rashads, champ. So the thing about these cats is that they could be considered, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but you can be considered good at manipulating, but not know that you're manipulating. And I'll tell you why. Because you get turned on by getting a reaction out of people. It is about the reaction for you. And it could be good or bad, as long as you can live off of the reaction of what you get from a person. And sometimes you'll keep pushing the button just to get that reaction that you're looking for. When people like you, y'all are good at creating the problem as well as coming up with the solution to it, because you yearn to want to help people. And sometimes if you can't help people or you can't help the people enough, you'll come up with a problem.
Damn.
So that you can have a solution to. These people are different. These people are, I don't want to say, I'm saying this in a good way,
true
bro.
Already. He already said true.
You could be very dangerous. Very dangerous. If you use it the wrong way. But people like you must be careful with addictions. Don't ever do any drugs, alcohol, anything, because it'll bring out a side of you you couldn't even control. It'll just take over.
Wow.
I'm going to pause right there.
Wow.
That's just to set it off.
Wow. What's his name? Rashawn Anthony, right? Talk back to us, Rashawn. Is he on point or what, bro? Come on, man. Y'all in the chat gotta fire back. So he got his joint already popped off. You're already popping off already. Eddie's like, it's true. Yeah. Oh, listen. It's the real deal, Holyfield. I'm telling y'all. It's the real deal, Holyfield.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's why I told y'all check in on Friday night with the Empress, and then we circle back on Sunday with the High Priest.
Yeah,
come on, y'all.
Can be deaf, dangerous.
Come on, man.
Yeah, he knows.
You don't know him.
He knows.
It wasn't prearranged.
Yeah, this type of energy. So, just to put it in perspective.
Yeah.
People like that type of energy are your Stalins of Russia. Damn, who's another one that's like that? They have the humanitarian energy. That's why they're into socialism. People with this type of energy is into socialism.
Wow.
They want everybody to have the same thing.
Right.
But it's almost like they're setting people up for failure because they help them too much. So, when you help somebody too much, you spoil them. Well, that's the type of energy that they're doing. They help people so much that they spoil them, that they never get to do for themselves. So what it does on the back end, without them even knowing it, it causes them to be at their mercy, because can't nobody else do what they do because they've been helping them for so long and they never got a chance to figure it out for themselves. They take it away from them. It's like they robbed them of the opportunity to figure it out.
But look though, so his name is Rashawn Anthony Wright. Another brother in the chat. His name is Sean Anthony Coleman.
Sean Anthony Coleman.
And bro was like, Sean Anthony crazy because it's damn the same fucking name. It's damn the same name. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's diabolical. Yeah, but Sean, first of all, Sean is not the type of guy you want to play with, because first of all, he knows how to attract money, but he also make people feel so uncomfortable because of how competitive he is. He refuses to come second to anybody. And he plays a good mind game with you too, just to keep you off balance. And that's how competitive he is. Very aggressive.
Sean, is he on point?
Very aggressive.
Is he on point, Sean? Keep it a whole 100. keep it honest, Sean. Is what he's saying on point. The Sean's are back to back though.
He said, "Oh wow."
Oh wow. Come on, man. Listen. It ain't none of this stuff prearranged. Well, y'all gotta tap in every Friday and Sunday, man. I'm telling y'all. This is crazy. Y'all gotta tap in every Friday and Sunday, man. Bro just put his name in the chat and got a read like that. That's crazy.
Who's Lovely Abundance? See out there reading the people in the chat. Who that?
What's your name?
Lovely Abundance. What's your name, Lovely Abundance?
Yeah, come on.
We got another John L. Watson. John L. Watson, he the type of person, he gonna make sure it's done the right way.
Oh man.
He gonna correct you even if he gonna let you know if you off point. He gonna correct you every time.
He reliable.
This person is very sensitive when it comes to relationships, man. Don't play with his heart, because he'll turn upside down. He'll move some furniture around. This is a person you don't want to get to a bad place, because it's like a volcano will erupt.
Okay, here's Lovely Abundance. Nadine Bracy.
Bracy? First of all,
yeah,
first of all, this person is all about mind control, but she does it with a good heart. It, she her mind control game is on a whole nother level. If it ain't her way, it's the highway.
Wow.
And she is aggressive. Right?
Nadine.
Nadine is aggressive, and
It
people
is.
with her energy has to always be working. If she's not working, she's not doing well. She wants things to be structured and organized all the time. But
Come on, Nadine.
she
Call
has
back,
something
Nadine.
she has something that women like her have to get control over, and that's called trust issues.
Oh.
Trust issues affects how she is able to be in relationships.
Okay. Okay. All right. Listen. I need y'all to get on the email, man, and book a session with this guy, man.
Yo,
Book
we
a real
going
session.
crazy. We going crazy in the
Book a
chat.
real session, man. Because now they're putting their name in the chat. Like, come on, man. Hit the
We going
email.
crazy.
Book a session. So let me ask you this: when they book a session, it's usually about what, like a 2 hour situation?
Nah, they just go like 3 hours. I got a lot of stuff to tell you.
A 3 hour session.
3 hours.
That was like 5 minutes. Not even
Nah,
5 minutes.
yeah, because you know the reason why it's 3 hours. There's a lot of sections in the name that has to be thoroughly explained because it deals with your spiritual contract while you're here on earth.
Oh wow.
And you got to know what time it is because a lot of us have been suffering by not knowing. You don't know what you don't know. And that's the problem. We're all in a state of not knowing. And whatever we don't know causes us to continue to live this life by guessing what to do. And that's not how you're supposed to live. So you need 3 hours of this information. It's a total breakdown. Then we have to go ahead and correct a lot of things too, because there's another phase to it. And that phase is called the past life progression. Just because I break your name down, that's just me doing the diagnostics like you do on your car to find out what's wrong with it.
Right.
Well,
right.
Now I got to go in and be the mechanic and fix the problem. And that's through the past life progression.
Wow.
So, these are habits that have been embedded into your mindset. So even after that, you're going to need consistent care.
Wow.
So, think about that.
Hit that email at the bottom of the screen from the MOI podcast at gmail.com to book your session. You heard what the brother said. It's like a 3 hour session, and we just read like 3 or 4 names in like 10 minutes. Come on, man.
Yeah, damn, we got a lot of names popping up.
Oh, they popping names in the chat like a motherfucker now. Like that. Here,
They
Ishmael Herbert, Willie Brandon III.
Willie Brandon. He said Willie Brandon III.
Come on now.
Willie get turned on by a good argument.
Willie.
Willie will argue you down, and don't get into no debate. He's an animal. He got energy all day. He stay up all night figuring out ways to curse you out the next day.
Come on,
This guy have a whole conversation in his head and come back and just have you drowning lyrically in a verbal confrontation. That way, eat you alive verbally. You be like, God damn, did he just snatch his soul from his brain? Like, what happened to him? Willie's a beast, though. Ishmael, he another one. This guy is on a whole nother level. Peace, my dear. I see you. Yo, this guy Ishmael?
Ishmael Herbert. Ishmael.
First of all, this guy is so. All companies need a guy like this because companies cannot survive without a guy like this because they know how to keep the business structured and organized. No company can even function because these people keep the bolts and the nuts together. Like when stuff start falling apart, this guy makes sure that everybody does it by the book. And if you don't, you're gonna see his temper flare and turn up. You gotta be careful with a guy like this. Very intelligent though. Very intelligent, has a great heart, will do for others at his own sacrifice. Just he's a different type of person. This guy's intelligence is on a whole nother level. He is good at manifesting. When he think of something, it come like that out the blue. And he don't even know how he came up with it. He just know it
Yes,
come up.
ma'am.
With people
Talk
like him,
back
he
to
gotta
us.
make sure he go with his first mind. If he
Holla back,
second guess
Ishmael.
himself, he gonna be pissed. Regret, regret. Be careful with that because it leads to his own depression.
Ooh.
Who else?
Ooh. Ishmael.
Uggy. What's that? Uggy? Uggy.
Aggie or
Uggy.
Uggy?
Check it
Aggie?
out, Uggy. So this guy, don't play with him because he's a plotter. He will plot and strategize and leverage your whole existence. This is not a guy you want to play with because he has an extreme side, but he goes into a private world he lives in. He lives in a private world. This
Wow.
person right here, when he go to research and he research things you wouldn't even think of. When everybody's on the surface, he's below it. He goes deep down into a rabbit hole, go all the way to the bottom and come back with the answer that nobody else would ever came up with. But he has to be careful with procrastination because that means he lives too much in his head, causes him to overthink things because he's looking for perfection. Be careful with that.
Damn.
But he's got a
back in this
master.
chat, man.
He's a master
now.
builder. This
Yeah.
guy's a master builder. He outworks everybody. People hate to be around him because he's too difficult to deal with. And that's only because people can't keep up with him.
Damn.
Who else?
I think that was it.
That was it.
Yeah, you don't got the chat quiet now.
Is the key. Yes, post life is a must. The high priest is the truth. Appreciate that. Brother Antwon, though, at book sessions, y'all. Yeah, that's one of my people right there. So, that's another one. Y'all did Barry? This dude is crazy. He said, y'all did Barry? Yo, Barry, you got to understand. You got to let go. You hold on to things too long where it becomes festered and get old and decrepit. You gotta stay out the past. I know it's hard to stay out the past,
Barry.
but if you keep living in the past, you're only going to continue to get the past in your future. You gotta let the past go. The more you hold on to it, the more it keeps showing up in your future. You be like, God damn, why does this keep happening to me? I hate people. I'm just flexing right now. Tamara, you got 3 A's in your name. That means that people that can't stand you.
No, not to marry.
Tamaria, you got 3 A's in your name. That means people cannot stand you because you always out talking everybody. They feel like you just trying to be the boss, ain't trying to be told what to do. You think it's your show and nobody else's show. You want all the attention, and it's about you, Tamaria. I'm just saying. Flex with
talk back to us. Empress me, talk back to us real quick. Is what he's saying on point, or is it on point?
Wow. Very like the truth. 10-10.
You saw look at her.
Crazy, like, oh my God, nobody likes me. Now they like you. You just be hogging a conversation heavy. Don't be so emotional about it. It's all right. Nobody's out to get you. I promise you, Tamara. Nobody's out to get you. It's all in your head. I promise you.
Oh yeah.
Wayne James Williams. Look at Wayne, yo. They going crazy in the chat. I can't believe y'all showing out like this. That's what's up. Wayne James. So when I look at your name, man, you're so let me tell you, You're the best salesman. Just stick to selling. Don't try to do nothing else. Just sell. Because you got charisma, charm, and the ability to really get the explanation, because you know how to create the vision for people to see how dynamic the product or the service that you're selling. People love the buy from you just because of how creative you are when you use words and the enthusiasm, and you know how to convince people to believe. Like, you know how to get them to believe and trust and want to take this product and run with it. Even if it's selling ice to an Eskimo, you're a dangerous salesman. But you gotta stay focused and committed, because you like to change things up, especially when it comes to work. Sometimes you can't even go to work. It becomes too boring for you, because you can be interested in one thing and get bored the next. It's hard to keep your interest. And you're very aggressive about changing things up at work. You like to reinvent the wheel, and some people just not for it. And you think they just stupid because they don't know no better, but you know better because you can see into the future, because you got those psychic abilities. And you know, it's crazy. Oh shoot, Robin, bro, yo, Robin is the most. Yo, matter of fact, Mo, let's do this real quick.
What's up?
Can you pull up the Gematria calculator? Because I want to show you about a Robin, how powerful this name is.
Yeah, hold on.
Sometimes I'll be like, I wish my name was Robin, but then again, I don't think so. If I didn't know what I know, if I knew what I knew, and I had a name like Robin, I'd be dangerous. I'm dangerous now, but I'll be even more crazy. But anyway, pull in the Robin. We might be able to get. I just want to see the number. What does the number say it comes to? This Robin.
Just Robin by itself?
Yeah, this Robin by itself.
317.
317.
Yeah.
What was it? What's this? Wait. What does it add to up to in two numbers?
78.
78. All right, I don't think it's pulling up what I wanted to pull up. But anyway, first of all, let me tell you about Robins. Anybody you know named Robin is a master teacher. They got all three masters in their name. And I'm gonna break this down. Hold on. I gotta go to the board for this one.
Bro, please go to the whiteboard, bro.
Let me go to the board for this one. Hold on. I gotta go to the board. Hold on. I gotta fix my stand. Hold on. Y'all hang tight, bro. I gotta go to the board. So this is a good lesson right here.
Board, man.
I gotta go to the board for this one. This is crazy.
And look, that's what I was telling the chat last time. I said, watch when he go to the board though. Like, you know, he just coming off the freestyle joint with the name, but when he put that mark on the board and you start seeing it, like, oh man, he just took that 2 and did it with a 3 and did it with a 1, and it's crazy.
I got to go to the board for this one. Mo, this is crazy. These people, if they only knew what they working with, oh my God. They definitely would be crazy into a whole nother realm. It's crazy. I'm about to break it down.
Hey man, I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Every Friday and Sunday, man. That's why I'm telling y'all to please share this right now.
I need to share this chat, man. Get y'all people out here on this thing.
On YouTube or whatever, hit the share button. Copy the link and put it on your Facebook page. Get everybody over here. You're in the Facebook groups and chats. Let's go, man. Light it up. All right, go ahead.
You can see me, right? You see that? It's good? Y'all can see that? Robert? Yeah, you can see. All right. So look, I'm going to break this down so y'all can really pay attention to what this is really all about. First of all, first thing we want to do is look at the vowels in somebody's name. He has an O and an E. His vowels represent his emotions, right? Let's look at that. His emotions. This is what he feels emotionally. And in the emotions, he's got a 6 and a 5. That comes out to be an 11. That's a master number. That's a master spiritual number. He's got 11 in his name. That means he picks up on things he can't even tell other people because it'll just go right over their head. You have no idea how he has to control his emotional side. Like, this guy really has to like get control because it's just too much. He can't even be in big places or around a whole lot of people or crowded places because of how intense his energy is, right? So we looked at his emotional side. Now we're gonna look at his logical side. Let's look at this logic. His logical is the RBRT, right? So he's got a 9, a 2, 9, and a 2, right? 9 plus 9 is 18. 18 plus 4 is 22. This man got another master builder. He got the master builder energy. That means he sees things on a global scale. People like him they think differently. They want to do things internationally and just really build, and they can do it. But that's only if they know how to do it and know how to use this particular energy. So as you can see, he already got both the master numbers. Now watch this. Now that he got the master numbers and the master spiritual number and the master builder number together, that equals the 33. He's at 33. That means he's a master teacher. That means when he philosophizes about something, just know you need to listen to him because he knows what he's talking about. Because he's tapping into a different type of realm of information that will allow him to really be able to help other people to navigate in a world where they don't understand. Because he's so connected to the source, he's able to help other people fix their problems, even when they don't know they have a problem. And most people should listen to him because he knows what he's talking about. And he's always trying to help people, but people don't listen and not understand that we are robbers of people. These are the masters that are around us, and we don't even know that they're around us. But these are the people you want to sit down and talk to the most because they pick up. They got the inclination. They got the foresight. They see things. They see into the future. And this is a very powerful individual. So what he's dealing with is what we would call back in the days one of the king or the queen will consult with the spiritual advisors. He's a master spiritual advisor. So I just wanted to break that down. Any questions?
Damn.
He said, wow, I definitely think like that. I was debating on how this system doesn't make sense with my grandmother before she passed. Yeah, man, you tapped all the way. Like, you need to book a session because people like you could do some real powerful things, even greater than me. Ain't that what Jesus said?
Yeah, you were gonna do things greater than I.
You could do greater things than I of how
Tap.
powerful you are.
Are you good? Tap in. So look, Rob, go ahead and hit that email, man, and book your private session, bro. Sign up for it. We already gave you the game already for this little free demo.
That was a free demo. That ain't nothing. Remember, we go 3 hours on this. 3 hours.
Yeah, that was like a what hot 12, 13 minutes.
A little hot one. But yeah, check in.
That's crazy. Just loving this. Listen, I'm telling y'all, man, if y'all was here Friday, the same thing happened Friday. So Fridays and Sundays, man, y'all tap in, hit the email. MOI podcast at gmail.com.
That
All of
email.
y'all that out there with
Tap in.
me. Also, you're on the live. Share this. Okay. My man say you definitely will book a session.
Tap in.
That's it.
Yeah, but
All
go
right.
ahead, man. Go ahead and do your thing. I think that was enough for the day.
Listen. That
We'll,
was an amazing start. Amazing start.
we'll come back. We'll come back. We'll come
That's
back.
an amazing start. I had time to go give me some ice, some water, everything. I'm like, go ahead, brother, teach. Get him. I had time to get ice, water, and everything. I appreciate that. All right. Let's see what we can do.
Barry was like, thank you. You're welcome.
Who said it? Rob? Barry? Yeah, Barry. All right, Barry back said thank you. My man right here. So listen, what was that like 5 people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It felt like more than that.
1, 2, 3.
It felt like 10.
4. It's about like 5 or 6 people. I think you did like 3 off the rip. Yeah.
Oh wow.
All right. So, okay, we got a question.
So, what do you think about what the Gematria calculus says as words that match? So basically, when we look into the Gematria, remember we're playing the matching game. Remember, energy does not die; it just transfers. And just because we have to know where the energy transferred to. That's why we look into the Gematria. The Gematria tells us who is tied to this particular energy in present time. So when we go through the calculator and we put Halloween in, we get what? Kamala Devi Harris, right?
Yep.
Or when we put in Serapis, we get Kamala D. Harris. So it's telling us a whole spectrum of where this energy went. Because people, the history is interesting, but history already repeats itself. It just shows up in a different form. So Gematria helps us to identify where this energy went so we can know who we dealing with. And that way we ain't got to guess. We already know the history on this individual, this particular type of energy. Hope that answers your question.
No, for sure. Appreciate you. And that's a great segue about the energy. Because I kind of want to go back on the first energy to be created in the beginning. This was an energy that was created in the very beginning. And I use the word energy because I want to do my best. Feel free to do what you do.
Yeah.
Stop me anytime to add value.
Yeah.
At any point of it. So this is the beginning, and we already know that this isn't the very beginning due to the fact of how it starts. If it was the very first beginning, it would have said from the beginning, right? Or am I tripping?
Mm-hmm.
However, in the original text, the word battle shift is used, meaning one day or day one. I'll point that out. So let's go with this. I'm gonna read slow so everybody can catch what I'm putting down. Or as a matter of fact, you mind reading that first 1 through 5, bro?
Yes.
Thank
it says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void. and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day.
Cool. Thank you. Now, there's a couple things happening right here. All the you guys got pen and paper, pencil and paper. Write this down. Write down heaven and the earth. The heaven and the earth. Anytime you see the word "and," that means something that's following that "and" is inclusive to the word that was preceding the word. That makes sense? It means another, and also do us another one. So these are two locations. Two locations, and as we go through this, try to take your mind off the physical plane. Try to take your mind off the physical plane, as in physical entities, physical beings, the physical. Let's think more metaphysics. For those of us that can't, they can't. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit. Let's take a look at what the word Spirit means, because this is the Old Testament. So to put things in proper matrix, we have to align the words with the Old Testament. In the Old Testament, the word Spirit means ruach, or breath, wind, spirit, energy. And the same thing that brother was just talking about a second ago about the energy never being destroyed, the energy simply being transferred. It's the same energy. The name. What's the verse you had gave us last week? It talks about the name.
2 Corinthians 3:6.
In 2 Corinthians 3:6. Let's go here. We'll come back to this. Second Corinthians 3:6 read, He has made us competent as ministers of the new covenant, not of the letter, but of the Spirit. For the letter kills, but the Spirit gives life. Now, what does the word Spirit means? And let's go back to this right here. What was the point of Corinthians 3:6, bro? Because I think you have broke that down already.
The purpose is that we needed to understand that we can't go by what the word says. You have to go by the Spirit that embodies those words or embody those letters. That's why 2 Corinthians tells you, in order to be a qualified minister, you must know the code that is being said to you. That's what makes you a qualified minister. It's not to go by the letter, because the letter killeth, but the Spirit gives it life. So that's what I've been doing the whole time. When I'm reading people's names, I'm going by your spirit, not the letters in your name.
In the Hebrew, the word spirit is ruach. So this entity is being spoken about in Genesis chapter 1, when it says the Spirit of God, it's talking about the breath, the ruach, the energy, not a physical being hovering over the water, not a physical being in the present, but the energy itself. Now, this, we're going to see here in a second, this energy is going to manifest another energy, but by the word of the energy. Okay, let's see if we can go here real quick. Let's try this real quick.
Let me add value real quick.
Please.
So spirit under the Gematria is equivalent to offspring. Is what gives birth.
And that's exactly what's happening in Genesis 1:27 and in Genesis chapter 2. The offspring of this energy is being created. This energy is manifesting itself in its offspring. That's why it says, let us make them. And we'll get to it in a second. Thank you for that. Great assist. We're going to read John chapter 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same in the beginning with God. All these things were made by him, and without him, anything had been made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in the darkness, but the darkness comprehended not. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in the darkness, but the darkness comprehended not. Let's go back to this real quick. Let's see if we can connect this real quick. In the beginning, there's a creation, 2 locations, the heavenly estate and an earthly estate. The earth didn't have any void, any form, it was void. Okay, and darkness upon the face of the deep. And then the ruach, or the energy of this thing, moved on the face of the water, and that energy said, let there be light. What was the light? We just showed you the light in John chapter 1. Light was man. This is not the sun being created. The sun is not being created. One more time, this is not the sun being created. Let me show you something real quick. Let's go here. "16, and God made 2 great lights, and the greater light ruled the day, and the lesser light ruled the night. He also made stars also. He set forth the firmaments. He divided the night and divided the light from darkness. And he saw that it was good." This is the physical sun being created. Back up here, this is just the light being created. This is just the energy being created. This is just the spirit being created. This is the thing that your name is attached to. Like, you're not your name. You're not your name. This energy that's inside the vessel, inside the spacesuit, your skin. Tonight, I'm going to attempt to show you that the energy force in Genesis was separate from the flesh until the energy had placed in the flesh. And I'm going to show you real quick. So we already talked about this before plenty of times. Genesis chapter 1:27. So God created man in his own image and likeness. In the image he created him, male and female created them. So whatever got made right here is in the image of the creator. But if we take a look at chapter 2, my bad. Chapter 2, this is another situation being made. 7, and then God formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed to his nostrils a breath of life. This breath of life is the same thing we talked about, which is called the ruach, or the Holy Spirit, or the Holy Breath. This is the same thing being put into man. And 7, and man became a living soul. Let's go back up. Remember chapter 1, I told you it's 2 different locations. Chapter 2 confirms there's 2 locations. Thus, the heavens, plural, there were 4 heavens that got created at the same time, and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. The host of them are the governing body. You guys ever heard of the host? Let me pull it for you guys real quick. The host of God. Let me show you real quick. You ever mentioned the book of Psalm? All right. There we go. So keep in mind, thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them, meaning the entities that's going to host these heavens. Let's look at what the hosts are real quick. The host of God, or heavenly host, the army of Yahweh, which is described in the Bible and other Abrahamic texts. The term host comes from the Hebrew meaning to wage war. The host of God can include angels, stars, natural forces, armies. The title Lord of Hosts appears in the Bible 250 times and usually translated as Yahweh Sabaoth. The title suggests that God is in command and control of all hosts, including angels, stars, armies on earth. The host can also refer to a consecrated bread of the Eucharist and the Christian Church. The term comes from the Latin hosta, which means victim.
Let me add value to that.
Please.
So according to the Gematria code, based on the host of God, the translation is also the archangel Michael.
Thank you. Thank you. One more time. Things in the back.
The Gematria, the host of God, translated in the Gematria, is the archangel Michael.
Keep that in mind. We're going to talk about Christ Michael in a second. Keep that in mind. So now we know what the host is. Let's go.
Hold on, one more for the roll.
Please.
Also, the translation of host of God in the Gematria is the Book of Enoch.
The Book of Enoch. I got both copies, 1 and 2. Enoch 1 and 2. Super interesting.
And God's chosen.
In the Book of Enoch, Enoch actually lists these hosts by name, who they are by name. So the heavens were created, the earth were created and finished, and the host of them, which is the army of God. Not the stars, because the stars got created in chapter 1 already. We just saw when the stars and the sun and the moon got created. We now know that in the beginning of Genesis, that light was not the sun. The sun got made later. This light was the light in man, that man knew it not. Let's go back and learn who that light was. Then we'll come back to chapter 2. So 127. Who got created in 127? What got created right here? So God created man in his image and likeness. What man? And in the image of God created him. See, this didn't say let us make them. No, this says so. God created man in his own image and likeness. This ain't the us and the we. In 26, it said, and God said, let us make man in our image and likeness. He's talking to the host. He's talking to the host. Let us make man in our image and likeness. He's talking to the host. Then he told them, let them have dominion over so and so and so and so and so and so. So rather than it says plural, it looks like a singular God. You know, God is not, it's a title, not a person. So God's the Elohim. The Elohim created man in his image and likeness, and after the image of Elohim, God created him, male and female, and created them. Let's look and see who got made right here. And I said it time before on Chrome TV, but just for more context, we're going to take a little deeper dive today.
Let me add value real quick.
Please.
So light in the Gematria is translated to I'm like God. And it also translates to What was that? It also translates to angel man.
Is it angel?
Angel man.
Okay, hold on right there. Let's talk about who this angel man is. Genesis 1:27. It's this Adam Kadmon. You have not wrote this down before, please write down Adam Kadmon. Adam Kadmon is also called Adam Elion. He's also called Elion, the Most High Man, or Adam Illah, or Adam Illah, Supreme Man, sometimes abbreviated AK or AQ. The first four worlds that came into being after the contraction of God's infinite light. So a lot is going on right here. That angel man you just mentioned, this is him right here. This is Adam Kadmon.
Yeah.
All right, we're careful. Adam Kadmon is not the same as the physical Adam Harashan, which is the physical Adam. The physical Adam got made in Genesis chapter 2. The primordial Adam got made in Genesis chapter 127. That's when God said, let us make man look like us and act like us. That's the supreme man. Adam Hamrashan, who got made from the dirt, is not of the Most High. He has a portion of the Most High Soho, or a portion of his Ruach. And that portion of his Ruach got blew into him in Genesis chapter 2. See, the other beings, Adam in chapter 2 only got the Ruach. The other beings have what's called the Ruach Qudus, which is the Holy Spirit.
Add value.
Please.
Adam Kadmon is also equivalent to I am legion.
I am what?
I am legion. Legion.
Spell it.
Legion. The legion, like
wow.
the Legion of Doom. I am legion. That means 10,000.
At least, because Adam Kadmon was not like the physical man. In Genesis 1:27, this is what the Creator said. Let us, speaking to the host, and now we know the host is the other entities of the four worlds that got created in the beginning. That's why these four worlds, if we go back to Genesis real quick, let me show you about those four worlds that got created. That's why in chapter 2, back to 2. That's why in chapter 2 it says heavens. That's why it's plural, because all five worlds got created at the same time. Well, who were the creator of the five worlds? The Elohim. The Elohim were the creator of the five worlds. Adam Kadmon was the host of this dominion, but he only hosted from heaven, because chapter 1 was the heavens being created. Now chapter 2 is going to talk about what being created. Talk about the earth being created. Chapter 1 had nothing to do with the physical plane. That was the primordial plane. That was the etheric plane. That was where the spirit lies. Adam Kadmon never had a physical body. He was a primordial man. This Adam right here also did not have flesh yet. Adam and Eve did not have flesh yet. Let me show y'all something real quick before I pass this mic.
Let me add to that real quick.
Yeah.
Adam Kadmon is also equivalent to Thanos.
You said Thanos?
Thanos.
Come on, man.
That's what we were dealing with. That type of enemy.
Right. Now, Adam Kadmon, the spiritual man who got made, a portion of him was placed inside of this entity. See that breath? Oh, my bad. And the breath of life is the Ruach. But this Adam is still not a Ruhu Qudus. He's not a holy soul. Adam Kadmon is the Ruhu Qudus. This being only received through Ruach. So he's not a holy spirit. Let's try it like this. The primordial Adam, Adam Kadmon, he is the Elohim. This Adam right here, chapter 2, he is a Yahweh Elohim. That's why in chapter 3, watch this. That's why in chapter 3:22, let's read this. 3:22 says, and the Lord God said, behold, the man is become one of us to know good and evil, to know toho and voho, to know right from wrong. Now he's one of us. This is after Adam partakes of the forbidden fruit. Now he becomes one of them. Now Adam is coming into the knowledge of the Elohim. Now he's returning back to that knowledge of which the seraphim. Where's the seraphim at? This is the seraphim. What is a seraphim? Great question. Let me show you what a seraphim is. What is a seraphim? Hold on, my bad. I thought my Google was working. Hold on. And the word seraphim looked a lot like the word seraphis. Seraphim is the word, or seraph. A seraphim are the celestial beings that appear in Jewish, Christian, and Islamic literature. The origin in ancient Judaism is often derived from the Hebrew verb seraph, which means to consume with fire. That was the angel in the burning bush. Seraphim are often depicted with 2 or 3 pairs of wings and sometimes called the burning ones. In the art of seraphim are often painted red to symbolize fire. The role of a seraphim. Seraphims are often described as serving as guardians of God's throne. They reside in the 6th heaven, by the way. In the Christian theology, they are the highest ranking celestial beings. Seraphims appear in the Old Testament in the temple vision of the prophet Isaiah. In the Greek Orthodox Church, the seraphim are described as praising God with the transigen, which is thrice holy. Seraphims are also mentioned in the book of Enoch. Some scholars believe that Numbers 21:6, which refers to fiery serpents, can also refer to as seraphims. The word Sephardic comes from the Hebrew word seraphim, which having the sweet natural befitting an angel or cherub. Pay attention, please. So beside the word seraphim, write the word seraph and write the word cherub. C-H-E-R-U-B. Cherub.
At value.
Please.
The seraphim in the Gematria code translates to the hand of God.
Thank you. Now, when you see this word in chapter 3, we can plug in seraphim. We know what a seraphim is. If we just leave the word serpent right there, we'll be led to think that this is a talking fucking pit viper or rattlesnake, something crazy, that's not what it's saying. In fact, in the Hebrew, just like the word spirit is ruach, in Hebrew, the word serpent, you would not see the word serpent, you would see the word nahash. Let's look up the word nahash.
While you look that up, it also translates to King James.
Wow, come on, man.
And fallen angel.
And foreign agent?
Fallen angel.
Hold on. Don't say nothing else, because you hitting it. You hitting it. And that's exactly what they say that thing was, right? Was one of the fallen angels or entity. They try to make it out to be Lucifer or Satan, but this is one of the fallen angels who was already down here. See, the angels had already fell to earth. That's why it says in the beginning, earth was void and dark, because it was a void water planet. Earth was a prison planet. I'll show you in a second. Earth was a prison planet. And that's why Michael, who you mentioned earlier, remember you mentioned Michael earlier? That's why Michael was dispatched to displace Caligastia, who y'all call Lucifer, from heaven. And he threw him and a third of the angels down to earth. When did that happen? It didn't happen in Revelation. Revelation is just reminding you of the wars in the heaven. And then he got casted down. Then when we go read, I think it's in Corinthians, who planet this is. I'll show you in a second. Hold on. Nahash, the Hebrew word Nahash means serpent or snake, is likely the onomatopoeia. That's a $5 word. Onomatopoeia. And you can remember it by making the sh sound while pressing air out your mouth. Genesis 3:1, the serpent in the garden is a Nahash or a seraphim. This is how this Nahash was end up talking to Eve. Nahash. So make a note of that. Get your ass upstairs right now. Go upstairs. Sorry about that. Kids.
Them babies always trying to get the knowledge.
Man, they like little rats, man.
They trying to get the knowledge too. She want to know what the seraphims is.
Get up out of here. She a little damn cherubim, man. Okay, so going back to Genesis 3. Now Genesis 3, we understand that the serpent or seraphim is really Nahash in Hebrew. Since we're going to use the word Elohim, we got to be all wise, right, and exact, and use all of it, right? So now the Nahash was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord had made, and said unto the woman, ye have God said you should not eat of every tree in the garden? How many trees were there? How many trees were there? Get that in a second. And the woman said unto the seraphim, or the angel, this is a conversation between Eve and another angel, not a snake. It's seraphim or Nahash he's talking to. Watch this. This is the part that got me right here. And the angel or the seraphim said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die, for God doth know that the day ye eat of therefore your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods. That's 3:5. Let's go to 3:22 and see what the Lord had to say about what the serpent said. And what did he say? And the Lord said, behold, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. So the Lord God, in this sense, confirmed what the serpent had predicted back in 3:5. Because the serpent is an angel. It's a fallen angel. It's a Nahash. It's a seraph. But remember, a seraph or seraphim can also represent what? Right here in 24. A cherubim. So now we're talking about cherubims. And the same chapter as we're talking about the seraphim. But you don't recognize the seraphim because you think it's a serpent. These are seraphim and cherubims having a conversation. So when you see in 3:22 where it says, now they become like us, the us is the seraphim and the cherubim. See, the five creator sons, go back to chapter 2 real quick. Chapter 1. In chapter 1, 26, these are the creator sons talking. And God said, let us make man in our image and likeness. In 128, this is not the same us I just showed you in 322. This is a different us. This us, these us, these we's, they're in the heavenly realm. This is Adam Kadmon, who is one of the creators of the 5 worlds. He's one of the creators of the 5 worlds in Genesis 1:27. So now, and God said, let us. 126, the us is the 5 creator sons. That's Michael, Israfel, Gabriel, Michael, and Gardiel. Those are the 5 creator sons of Elohim. They are the Elohim. This is the Elohim talking. In 322, that's not the Elohim talking. That's the Yahweh Elohim. Those are the lesser beings. Those are the seraphim and the cherubims. So you have the archangels, you have the seraphims and the cherubims. The 7. These are the 7 creators. But each of the 5 creator sons got their own world. Stay with me. Let's go back to the worlds that they created. Right here. This is only telling you about one of the creator sons, which they call him Adam Kadmon. He's also called Elion, or the Most High, or Adam Allah. He is the first of the 4 worlds. The first of the 4 worlds that came into being after the contraction of God's infinite light. And this infinite light was not the sun. The sun got created later. The infinite light in Genesis chapter 1, which is reconfirmed in John chapter 1, this infinite light has nothing to do with our sun disk. And Adam Kadmon is not to be confused with the physical Adam Harashan, which is chapter 2 Adam. So we have 2 different Adams. Let's read on. In Lenoric Kabbalah, the description of Adam Kadmon, the anthropomorphic, the term anthropomorphized, which is making something in, like for the zodiac signs, or anthropomorphized. They're just celestial star clusters made to look like animals for us to understand and comprehend what they are. The little dipper is not an actual fucking dipper or drinking gourd, but Leo is really not a lion. Cancer is really not a crab. That's called anthropomorphism, anthropomorphized. Nonetheless, Adam Kadmon is divine light without vessel, her potential. And the human psyche, Adam Kadmon, corresponds to the Yadik, the collective essence of the soul. So this one we talk about the word, the lettering means nothing, but the spirit behind the words means something. This is the spirit behind the words.
Let's
Your
go.
divine light without the vessel. It's not the flesh nor the bones, but it's the divine light within the vessel. And this is what's never destroyed. This is a everlasting light. This is what Jesus was talking about in his ministry. There's an everlasting light. There's an everlasting. You will never thirst no more if you understand the light within. But this light is not understood by the darkness. So the first thing the Creator did in Genesis chapter 1, he separates the light from the darkness. John chapter 1 reminds you of that darkness that the light once was bound by. So when you get a reading like what the high priest is providing, he's reading the spirit energy behind the name. He's reading this. How many of us have ever heard of the term familiar spirit? You got a familiar spirit. You got a very familiar spirit. This is what they're talking about. The divine light, not the sun, because this divine light makes you glow also. And this is what people got it confused with Jesus when they say that he had feet like burnished brass. When brass burns, it glows. He glowed. He had a glow to him. His foot shined like burnished brass. Not that it was black, but it glowed. You get brass red hot, it glows. In the transfiguration of Jesus, he demonstrates that. When he transfigured himself before his disciples, he had a conversation with Elijah, who died thousands of years before Jesus was even born. He had a conversation with these people at this mountain. So, nonetheless, Adam Kadmon is Adam Allah, or is the supreme man. There's a question asked by the Nation of Islam that was asked by the Prophets of Islam that was taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wa alayhi salam. It was taught, he would ask, who is the original man? Who is the original man? The Asiatic black man, the owner, the maker, the cream of the earth, and the father of this universe. That's why this is called Adam Allah. This is the supreme being they're referring to, not the creator himself, but something that was created and divine from the creator directly to rule over this heaven, which is the heaven that we try to go to from this plane of existence, because we're all part of that same light. But sometimes our light gets dimmed. And the dimming of that light came by way of the connection with the flesh. The flesh is the downfall of man. That's the sin. Let's look up the word sin real quick, because I want everybody to get confused about what sin means. That shouldn't be a scary word at all for you. Let's read this real quick though. Philo, this is in Judaism. The first word expressed original man or heavenly man was Philo of Alexander, also called Philo Judas, was a Hellenistic Jewish philosopher who lived in Alexander in the Roman province of Egypt, in whose view that as being born in the image of God had no participation in any corruptible or earth-like essence. No earth-like, as I just told y'all that. I haven't even read this right here. I've never read this part I'm reading before right here. But I just know that Adam Kadmon had nothing to do with physical man. This was the primordial man. This is the essence of man. When I say man, I mean man and woman, like mankind. You notice in Genesis chapter 127, he didn't put this man to sleep and pull no rib out to make no chick. But on the physical plane, he had to pull a rib out of man to make a physical chick, physical female. But the heavenly female was just created by the word, kun fire kun. Let it be and it shall be. Like the ancient story of ancient Egypt with Gab and Shu. He took himself in his hand and spit himself out of himself from the primordial waters. And that's why Genesis chapter 1 opens up with the Spirit of God over the waters, the primordial waters. And within the primordial waters lied Leviathan, or the worm, or the dragon. And the dragon could see this happening. And that's why in Revelation, you get the same story in Revelation.
Real quick,
Please.
Can you pull up the flesh pit in Texas?
The flesh pit?
Yeah. Just Google flesh pit in Texas. Because you said the primordial waters.
Let's see right here.
The mystery flesh pit is fictional subterranean organism with tourist attraction in the fictional mystery flesh pit national park. I don't know about it being fictional, but they have a picture. Okay. It should be pull up a picture.
See a picture of it?
Yeah. Pull up the image.
Man, what the hell is this? This is crazy.
Yeah, so when you said primordial waters, this is the flesh pit. This is where the scientists And we probably have to do some research on this. But the scientists have taken, this is an organism living in the earth in Texas. People had discovered it, and I'll just give you a brief story. People had discovered it. They were swimming in the primordial waters of that flesh pit, which they were getting like rejuvenated and feeling good when they come out of it. But they've been swimming in it for so long that they contaminated it, where it caused 700 people to die because it collapsed in. It's an article on it. It should be.
Damn, I ain't heard this, bro. Got me
When
on
you
that.
talk about the primordial waters, this is how life gave birth out of the earth. But that's a whole nother segment. I was just trying to
That's good. That's good. I've never heard that though.
add value to what you were saying about the primordial waters.
Damn. You know, that reminded me of that shit that happened down there in was it Texas? No, Mississippi. That mass grave site in Mississippi. You heard of that?
You talking about the
Devil's Punch Bowl?
Yeah, they do all the slaves in there.
Yeah, those weren't slaves. Those were all freedmen and parts of the Cherokee Nation, Indians, freedmen, Negroes who they had at those camps, who had sided with the Union, and the Union supposed to have been protecting them, but the Union soldiers ended up blockading the fortress, and they end up starving to death, and they just died of starvation. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't tell that part.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a lot. Now, sidebar, next week, when I jump on here, I think probably like next Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'll be ready. When I cock and load and get back into the measure I was on last week, you gotta hop on with me. Cause now I'm drawing the connection between the Black Europeans, the swarthy Spaniards, the swarthy Europeans who came over here to infiltrate and slaughter the indigenous people of Northwestern Mexico, aka Turtle Island, North America, Central America, South America. These were people of color in the 1500s. These Spaniards were not who we think they people say Spain came over here. Our mind is so warped with psychoneurosis. I admit mine was too. That's why my mind is kind of choking up to conceive that these people looking up are dark are Negroes. They're coming over here. They help to conquer Puerto Rico. They helped take over today what we call Dominican Republic, but it was because of Saint Dominion. But man, it's black people, man. It's our own people.
It's always been our own people.
It was our own people who were capturing, wrangling, and enslaving Native Americans over here. And what was tripping me out is a couple of them knew the language over here. They were great translators for the conquistadors. And I said, how the fuck they know the language? They from Spain. Like people who are from Spain, born and raised in Spain, were able to come over here in the 1500s and translate in sign language and local tribal from the Coweta to the Hopi to the Teepee Indians. They knew the language. I said, how the fuck know the language? Because they all spoke the language, which was something called Morse Latin or Hebrew. They spoke Hebrew as well. I said, man, this is fucking crazy. So next week, when I go in next week, y'all got to tune in next week, man.
Yeah, but what didn't they say Columbus brought somebody over that spoke
Columbus was black. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Columbus was a swarthy brother. He was not Italian. He was from Spain. There's a Providence called Seville, a neighborhood called Seville. in Spain. And when they came in to flip the Moors who were there under what was called Al-Andalus Empire, they flipped them, and those who didn't want to get out of Spain, they stayed and became Moriscos. They flipped the Jews too, who was already there. The Juicies who were in Spain, they flipped them too, and they converted to Catholicism. And the same black Moorish dudes who were there now put on a Spanish attire, Spain, because they speak. It's called Moorish Latin. It's not Spanish. It's Moorish Latin. Moorish Latin. They speak Moorish Latin. They knew about the vast cities of gold over here, so they helped people like Cortez. They assisted them by going on the land, talking to the Native Americans, tricking them up, like swindling them, scamming them. And there were people of color. I said, "Oh my God, man!"
Yeah,
that actually hurt my feelings, y'all. But that's for next week. Let's finish this measure real quick so we get out of here. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Listen, if y'all want to make any kind of donation contribution, the Cash App is down below, scrolling on the bottom. So please make your donations and contributions to the Cash App below, scrolling on the bottom. The Cash App is also the Zelle. Any monetary donations, please make it to the Cash App below. We appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much. Now, we got the light. We all are the light. We all understand that Adam Katman is the primordial being in 127. Just a little quick recap. Now we know, according to Genesis, there are two Adams. There are two Adams in Genesis. Genesis chapter 127. Write this down. So you can talk to your grandma and your mama about it, and the aunties and whoever else. Write this down. Genesis chapter 126 through 127. This is the entity who got created. The us and the we are the heavenly host. I feel like we should go back to Genesis real quick and then come back. $127 right here. The us and the our. These are the host. H-O-S-T. The host. The host of God. And how do we know that that's the host of God? Because when we go to chapter 2 tells us that the host and all of the host check. Chapter 1, 26, 27, Adam Kadmon. Chapter 2, 2:7, Adam Hamrashon. I'm going to show you in a minute. Put Adam, H-A-R-A-S-H-O-N. But this Adam is not physical yet. Let me show you when they get physical. Chapter 3. And okay, chapter 3, we know that the serpent was really this was an angel or a seraphim or a Nahash. This particular angel or Nahash is also a female. This was not a male. This is a female. How do we know this? 3:15. Write down 3:15. I will put enmity between the woman, talking about Eve, and between thy seed and her seed. a decree has been made between the children of these women. I will put hatred between thee, the seraphim. I'm going to put hatred between your children and the woman's children. Between Eve and you, I will put hatred between your children, or between your seed, or between your sperma. That was a female having a conversation with another female. And that serpent, or Nahash, was not a snake. It was an angel known as a seraphim, because in Genesis 3:22, we see the cherubim show up. We see the cherubim show up. This is when he told Eve she'll feel the pain of, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to find a part when he gave them their skin. Hold on. Who told you was naked? Have I eaten from the tree where I commanded not to eat? And the man said, the woman you gave me. It's your fault, nigga. And Lord God said to the woman, this happens with Cain and Abel too. When God asked Cain, where's your brother? And Cain like, nigga, I don't know. I don't keep him. Am I my brother's keeper? That's what it came from. Am I my brother's keeper? Came out of Cain's mouth to God. Nigga, I don't know. You're supposed to know where he at. Why don't you know where he at? Why don't you know where he at? Why did he ask right here? When chapter 8, and they heard the voice of the Lord, walking in the garden in the cool of the day. Because it get hot. You got to come in the evening time when it's not hot. And I ask people, if he's walking, he got legs. If he got legs, he got a spine. If he got a spine, he got a brain. So where is this walking? And why is he walking? Because in verse 1, he was hovering. Now he's walking. In the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees. How can you hide from God? And the Lord called unto Adam and said to him, where are you? Why didn't he know where he was? 11. And he said, who told you was naked? Now, either this is some pervy stuff going on. He just enjoyed Eve walking around with the titties out, or he's not talking about their flesh yet. Who told you were without flesh? Who told you was naked? Who told you didn't have skins on? The part that really messes you up is when you see in 7, and their eyes were open, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. That gives you the illusion that they have flesh already and they're naked and their private parts are showing. That's what the illusion is right here.
Let me add value real quick.
Please.
So the interesting part was what we didn't figure out was they sewed together fig leaves. What grows on a tree that we can eat that will be fig leaves?
Wait a minute, say it again.
If they sewed together fig leaves, then what kind of tree was it?
Oh, it's a fig tree.
The fig tree. So could we say that was the tree that they ate from?
Damn. Damn. I mean, the whole conversation took place by a tree anyway. Like, this is a conversation taking place.
So was that the fruit that they ate? The fig?
A fig? What does a fig represent? I heard it was a pomegranate. Because pomegranate represents a lot of things. I heard it wasn't a goddamn fruit at all. Like, Eve was the fruit.
Mm.
And by Eve being the fruit, right, the seraphim of the angelic being mates with Eve.
Mm.
This is one version of it. Mates with Eve. And then Eve gives birth to Cain. And then the creator energy mates with Eve and gives birth to Abel. And the creative energy always finds favor in his son's sacrifice and never with Cain's sacrifice, because Cain is not his son. Now, Cain and Abel is not Adam's kids either, because Adam's kids are Seth and Enos.
You got to bring that video back up.
What's that?
The one with Nas X.
Oh, when he slid down to hell.
Remember that?
Yeah, the beginning, he had the serpent, and he was all beguiled, and yeah, right. I mean, that's the yeah. Right. Oh,
that gives the visual.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah. Well, Adam had 2 kids. Adam had Seth and Enos. Okay, you said okay, yeah, Enos, yeah. So let's deal with it. It's Sunday school, baby. It's Sunday school. Let's keep going. Who told you was naked, basically? Did you eat from that fucking tree? I told you not to. And man said, the woman you gave me made me do it. And the Lord said unto the serpent, or the seraphim, or the angel. And God said unto the seraphim, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all the cattle and every beast of the field. Upon thy belly thou go, and the dust you should eat all the days of your life. Now, let's take a deeper look at what this seraphim is and why he told him that. Now, I've done this before, but I don't mind doing it again because I love doing this. A serpent is a seraphim. Can we all agree to that? A serpent is a seraphim. Seraphim, serpent, seraphim. One and the same. Now, a seraphim is a angelic being. A seraphim is a celestial or heavenly being originating in the ancient Judaism. The term plays a role in subsequent Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Let's read further. In Hebrew, the word serpent or seraphim means burning, and used 7 times throughout the text of the Hebrew as a noun, usually to denote serpent. Serpent and seraphims are the same thing when it comes to the religious reading. A seraphim is an angelic being. A fiery flying serpent is dealing with Moshe or Moses. Serpent's not a bad thing. In Isaiah chapter 6, of the seraphim idolized the virgins of Solomon's temple represents the sole instance in the Hebrew Bible of this word being used to describe celestial beings. Seraphims, serpents. Let's take a deeper dive, shall we? Now, a seraphim could also be known as let's go here. Nahash. Nahash means serpent or snake. Nahash. Let's take a deeper look. Nahash. Now watch this. Oh, here we go. Tanin. My bad. Tanin. The Hebrew word tanin is translated as dragon, serpent, sea monster, venomous, snake. So now we can put the word nahash, we can put the word seraphim, we can put the word tanin.
So,
It also refers to the word Leviathan. And the Leviathan can refer to a variety of monstrous creatures, including a dragon, a whale-like animal, a crocodile, a snake, or a primordial sea serpent, which is in Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2. This primordial sea serpent, this Leviathan, this dragon. Watch this. Watch the trick. In the Bible, dragons represents rebellious spiritual beings and violent humans and empires in leagues with them. In Revelation 12:3, the great red dragon with 7 heads, 10 horns, and 7 crowns appears in the heavens. Revelation 20:20, verse 2, Satan is called a dragon. Now, these dragons and God created great whales. These are dragons that were created. I'm not making this stuff up. The dragon. Go ahead, bro.
I add value to that as well. Nahash also means in the Gematria translation, Michael.
Good God, man. Now, these certain type of dragons are called worm. Now, do you see in Genesis chapter 3 when the Most High said, I'm going to take your legs from you, make you crawl? Because certain worms, or certain dragons, or certain tanines, certain nahash, certain seraphims don't have wings. Some have legs. This particular seraphim had legs, and the punishment that it was going to receive is going to have his legs removed. A huge limbless, wingless dragon, or tanine, or seraphim. That's what that is. All right, let's go back.
Limbless.
Any questions or any relevance from anybody? I want to add value. Any questions? We got some questions over in the chat. Give me a second, y'all. I'm coming over there. Now we know what the serpent is. The serpent is actually a dragon, or a tanine, or a seraphim. All right. Let's time on 2 real quick before we wrap it up. The heavens were created, the earth were created, 2 different locations. These heavens, there are 5 different heavens. I want to pull up you ever heard of the Gematria book?
The Gematria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disappear from social media and do this instead.
What was that? Oh, Adam Cam.
Commercial pops up.
My bad. There we go. All right, let's read on. The heavenly man is perfect image of the logos, which is the word. Logos is a term in Western philosophy, psychological and rhetoric, as well as religion among it connotes is the rational form of discourse that relies on inductive and deductive reasoning. Logos. Logos also means word. Logos is neither man or woman, but intercorporeal. Intelligence purely an idea, while the earthly man, who was created by God later, is perceivably the sense and partake of earthly qualities. Philo is evidently combining the philosophy of the Midrash, Plato, and the rabbis. Setting out to duplicate the Bible account of Adam was formed in the image of God and was the first man whose body God formed on earth. He is combined in the Platonic theory of forms, taking the primordial atom as the idea. This is the energy of the primordial atom in the created man of flesh as blood as the image, and philosophical views are grounded on the midrash and not vice versa. It's evident from his seemingly senseless statement that the heavenly man is neither man or woman. This doctrine, however, becomes quite intelligible in the view of the following ancient midrash. And then it goes on to talk about the midrash, basically shows you the same thing we just talked about. But it says, and explaining the various views concerning Eve creations, they taught that Adam was created as a man-woman. He was androgynous. Explaining as male and female instead of man and woman. Hermaphrodite. That's why women are called a Baphomet. That's why they call the woman womb man or woman, literally. And that the separation of sex arose from the sequence operation upon Adam's body as related to the scriptures. This explanation, Philo's statement that the original man was neither man or woman. Androgynous. In the Kabbalah, before the creation began, all that existed was God's infinite light. The first stage of creation began with God's contract, his infinite light, to create the vacuum. Then the ray of divine penetration, the vacuum, and then the persona of Adam, Kadmon, was projected into a vacuum. The first stage of Adam Kadmon was formed in 10 concentric circles, which emanated from the ray. The ray of light was then enclosed by the anthropomorphic form of Adam Kadmon, which is the realm of infinite light without vessel, contrasted by its potential to create future existence. Adam Kadmon is sometimes referred to as Adam Illah, or upper man, and Adam Elion, upper man. And then we have Adam Harashon, Rishon, the lower man. So what does all this mean? In the more science typically teaches we have a version of ourself called a higher self and a lower self. This is simply demonstrating the higher faculties of man, the possibilities of man. Jesus was sent down here to demonstrate the possibilities of man. We're talking about two elements of your higher self and lower self. The higher self, which resides in your primordial state, your heavenly state, your godly state, and the crown chakra region of your area, which is your mind. That's why they say that the spirit, the brain of the mind is the seat of the spirit, and the heart is the seat of the soul.
That's the macabre.
Okay, now we're talking.
When you put the two pyramids together, intertwined, which looks like the Star of David.
Right. That's the Merkabah, but the Merkabah comes from the Kabbalah. That's where the Merkabah comes from. It comes from the Kabbalah teachings. And that Merkabah, when it's laid out, these are the spheres of the Merkabah. I'll show you in a second. You have Keter, which is the top one, and you have Melekut, which is earth. This is the higher self. This is the lower self. These are also your sacred chakra points. These are also your sacred chakra points, which are 3, 6, 9, 10 points. The bottom point would be, grounded, which is earth. But this is your sacred chakra, sacral chakra, or what was called your solar plex. Let me show you how it looked like this. Let's try this. Boom, right there. See that? Now, There we go, right here. Adam Kadmon was the primordial perfect man, firing on all chakras. The higher self, the most highest version of man. Adam HaRashan represents the lower self, the cardinal man, the fleshly man, that's ruled by the desires of the flesh. That's who Adam HaRashan was. This is the spiritual man. Adam Kadmon was the spiritual man. And to add that to what you were saying, the man resides inside of the prism. This is Adam Kadmon. This is what I was trying to explain earlier. This is the etheric energy that's around you. You're supposed to operate in that emulance, but you're trapped by the flesh. The flesh has trapped you. You are bound by the flesh. Right. That's why they say that your third eye, again, the third eye is the seat of the spirit. It's your spiritual eye, because the spirit resides in your head. Catch her.
Let's go, Rachel.
Right.
Hey, that was my mom's, by the way.
And a lot of people ain't gonna get this.
Mom's tapped in.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was mom's tapping in.
Ma Duke's in the building. Peace and light.
Let's go.
But every time you see the Merkaba, you always see this light emulating from it. It's always a light emanating from it. And again, dealing with the transfiguration of Jesus, he was able to contort himself into what's called a Merkaba, or a sphere, or looks like a fire around him. That's what these angels always look like. When they show up, they always look like this. They're always protected by the Merkaba.
So is that the reason why when people have a near-death experience, they be telling them don't go into the light?
The light is them. That's themselves. That's your spiritual self. Asking if you're ready to return. You ready to come back? You ready? You know? Oh well, yeah. Come on. Or it just comes. It just comes to collect you. And this is don't think of this as a physical thing. This is your consciousness calling you back to your original state. That's why I said this was part of his infinite light. That's why John chapter 1 says the light is already in man. The light is already in you. That light was placed inside of you in Genesis chapter 2. We don't recognize the light because we're bound by the flesh. See, this is what you look like without the flesh on it. Firing on all cylinders. This is the light. Remember earlier I told you about that solar plex, or that central chakra point, where ladies, when you are with child, that sacred chakra point generates so much energy. Girl, you glowing. What grandma say? I already know you was pregnant. I can tell you pregnant. I know how it looks on you. That's that same sixth sense chakra that women have. That's why it's important to uplift fallen humanity by uplifting our women. No society can go above its women. That's all I got, good brother. I did my best to connect the dots for them on this.
Yeah, that was powerful. I feel like I transcended.
And you know, like I said, everybody won't get it. Some will get it. And I'll just keep repeating the lesson. And one day, oh shit, you know, I heard that before somewhere. Oh yeah. And that's why I do what I do.
Hey, they transcended. They got it. They in the macabre right now.
Come on.
That's
all right,
why
so I want to hop back to the comments for the last part of the session, because I definitely want the high priest to get back on the square. A couple people tapped in. What we need right now are some names in the chat. Let's drop some names.
Who trying to get locked in?
Drop some name. You just need your first and last name correct in the chat, and let the high priest you use his Merkabah. Let the high priest read your Merkabah.
Let me transcend you.
Right. I mean, because you know, it all intuitive, bro. Like that's really what it is. Like it was never about your name. It's just the assigned energy to the name. Yep. All right, let's get it.
Darius Devontae Livingston. Wow. This guy here. First of all, trying to talk to this guy is a waste of time unless he can get the vision of it. If he don't get the picture, he ain't trying to hit you. Most people like him stay on a square because they don't like their foundation to be shaken. These people basically, they see things through a visual, and if they get interested enough, they'll ask a whole bunch of questions. But don't try to change them, because these people don't like change at all. They want things to remain in a structured environment, because structure means trust. And that's one of the things about these people. If it's not structured, they don't trust it at all. This is why they struggle with trust issues, because they have to be careful with connecting or getting in situations with people that they care about so much that it's hard for them to tell them no when they need help, but they wind up being pissed off. Like this person right here, they got to be really careful with addictions, because what happens is that when other people disappoint them, they wind up resulting to things that doing harm to themselves. And they get upset with themselves because they knew they shouldn't have trusted that person in the first place. So these type of people, they gotta be extra mindful of. And he has a hard name, because even though he wants things to be structured and organized, he's always finding himself trying to help people that ain't structured and organized, or trying to get them to be structured and organized. And hopefully he worked on that temper, because this is a person that gets really upset when things don't go the way that it should, or somebody misuses them, I should say. Who else in the chat? Jasmine Ramirez. That's not how you spell Jasmine. That's a crazy name. They got two Z's in their name? Stop playing. They ain't got two Z's in their name. Nobody spells Jasmine like that. Is that a real?
I'm putting the name on the screen for you right here. Are you seeing them?
Shonda Crawford. First of all, Shonda Crawford, you have to get out of your. You got to get out of your head. You got to get out of your head. You're going to disappoint yourself if you don't get out of your head. You got to get out of your head, Shonda, because let me tell you, you are always looking for an opportunity to basically outdo the competition. You don't want nothing the same or like nobody else. Everything you gotta be different, because you don't want nothing that nobody else have, but other than what you want to come up with yourself. And if everybody else have it, you don't want it. You gotta stand out, because you don't want to be second place in anything, and you hate losing with a passion. And you have to be careful with going into the dark side, because you got a side to you that like scary mystical things and things of that nature. But it's okay, because you're always going through a transition, even in your sensitive side. Like you really lock into this mystical side of, I don't want to say the dark side as it being bad, but the dark side of being able to go through a transition of digging deep into yourself. Or people like you should be doing a lot of shadow work, because of what things people might shun you because of your differentness, or you've been shunned because you're not following the normal doctrine of religion, so to speak. So people shun you in certain type of ways because you're different and you believe in a more different mystical aspect to yourself. This is why you're on platforms like this, to find a more deeper meaning that's outside of the structured religion structure that's out there. But you know, you can't stand no weak men though. I'm gonna stop right there. I don't want to get too personal. But book a session. Jasmine Redder? Nah, come on, that's not a real name. You playing?
No,
Jazz? Like,
she said
they got two Z's.
She said yes. That's her real name. Yes. She said yes. That's her real name.
Bro, first of all, these people it's always business before pleasure. And I mean like business before pleasure. Like this is a real like this is a person that it's hard for them to really get into a real good relationship because of how powerful they are. They're very dominant and stuff like that. So they can't even be around anything that's weak or look weak. Like, you know, it's gotta be on a whole different level, and they're very protective over their circle of friends. Loyalty is very important to these type of people because they just don't let anybody in. They're almost like gatekeepers to people, places, and things that they don't want other outsiders to find out unless you gain their trust over a long period of time. It's almost like they take them through an initiation process before they can even get to them or getting to know their circles because of how protective they are. So, and these people, Jasmine, she can't take ignorance with a passion. Don't be stupid around her, because if you stupid, she gonna turn up. I'm just saying. You know, you tell me what you think. I don't know. Robin, we did Robin already. Yeah. You wasn't here for Robin. Shonda, we did you, Shonda. You know what time it is. Eric, let me tell you about these Erics, man. Like these people, when I say that they know a lot, but they change things up so much. They know a lot. They know a whole lot. And they got a lot of like even for this person right here, right? They're coming up with a lot of business money concepts and ideas. But these people cannot go after money. You got to stay far away from chasing money, because the more you chase money, the more it runs from you. You got to stay far away from it and just focus on being a networker of people, using people as a resource, being resourceful. You're almost like a go in between, like a broker. Like your job is just to make connections. And based off of those connections, those will be your resources, and the more people that you're able to help bring other people together by making those connections. So people like you got to definitely stay away from chasing money, because the more you chase money, the more problems come your way. And that's just, on a whole other level of understanding pertaining to that type of information. But you're very creative, come up with them ideas is crazy and everything else. So stay away from chasing money, because it'll get you in big trouble. I'm just telling you. Melissa, Melissa, a good argument turns you on. You already know. You definitely be trying to act up out here in these streets. And you know what time it is. You'll interrupt people to say what you need to say. And sometimes people get upset because you always cutting them off in the conversation. And you already know that it's all about controlling. You got to have a control aspect, or control. Your environment has to be under your control. If it ain't your law, then this everybody got to go. Theo, man, let's talk about how you always trying to troubleshoot problems and you don't take no for an answer. You always trying to figure out a concept or a way to actually overcome a lot of challenges. But you got to be careful with that sensitive side and stay away from things that don't serve you no good. But you're very charming in certain aspects, but you also got to make sure that you protect yourself at all times, because you know people are always trying to come after your light, and don't let that don't let anybody make you upset, because you know you got a side to you that is very explosive, and if it goes off the wrong way, your whole spiritual aspect will spin out of control for a place you don't want to go. I'm just saying. Wow, Eric, stay away from that money, man. Don't chase that money. Yes, Melissa, I know. You gotta control your environment.
Yo, that shit crazy.
Yo, they gotta book a session. Y'all need a lot. Yo, I see everything I see in y'all names is crazy. Cause there's so much that y'all need to know to make your whole lifestyle come together. That is crazy. When I look at these names, like my mind just calculates. Like that joint just it's crazy. Because I know that there's a lot of challenges going on with these folks, and they need to learn more about themselves. Priscilla, girl, go home. Go home. All you want to do is dominate relationships.
Hey, uh-oh.
See, man, bro.
Talk to sisters like this, buddy.
She trying to dominate the relationship. She trying to out-talk people, and she knows she hard-headed. Man, hard-headed ain't the word. You could tell her, look, don't go in there. The house is on fire. She's still gonna go in there and find out, even because she has to experience it for herself. No matter what you tell her, if it's up, down, left, right, and you could just tell her exactly what's about to take place, she won't listen to that, because she wants to experience it for herself, because she wants to be the one to testify to the situation in her own experience. These people have to get their own experience. But stay out of your head and stop judging yourself and others, because you could be very critical to yourself and others. And this is what keeps you on that Ferris wheel of keep attracting those same issues all the time, because you're trying to get perfection, and perfection is the trap, because it causes you to procrastinate in ways that you want. But we know you're going to look good no matter what. But whatever going on in the inside,
tighten up.
You got to tighten up what's going on in the inside.
Holla back.
Yeah, y'all got to get a session, man, because y'all got some stuff. I'm dying to tell you. Give me 3 hours, and I'm just going to unpack all of you. Yeah. I will unpack all of you. Give me 3 hours, please. Let's go. I'm excited.
Hey, y'all, listen, man. Every Sunday, we in the building. And if you check in with us on Friday, right? Check in with us on Friday, ladies. We got this new joint starting off with the ladies, a Soul Friday situation. We got the Empress in the building. She did the same thing. Phenomenal. I mean,
yo, they want the email. They want the email.
Yeah, it's in the chat.
All right.
The Soul Sister joint on Friday, and the High Priest here on Sunday. Email me, y'all.
Yeah. Samuel?
Nah, we weren't speaking. We had the sisters speaking to the sisters. This I'm trying to tell y'all, man. We like.
Wait, you were speaking to the sisters?
We like raising. Look, man, we do something totally different over here now.
Come on,
totally different.
Hey, and that's the wife right there. So you know,
right?
I don't know if they know that's my wife now. You know, I ain't just talking this. Like this is my family. Me and the wife do this. So this ain't, you know, I'm not in the basement on the internet trying to be, you know,
It's the real deal, y'all.
Hey, MOI been to the castle.
Yeah, I've been through the first chamber. It's a lot of chambers. Every day I tell myself, I know there's some stuff that they need to tell me, should tell me, want to tell me, that they didn't tell me. You know what I'm saying? I gotta tap back in and finish getting my sessions. Like, the shit worked. I'm not trying to convince y'all. Like, I'm not a snake oil salesman. Ain't something got no snake oil.
No snake oil over here, man.
Even though we know what that's, it's really some holy wisdom oil I'm giving y'all. Now we don't found out that serpent and snake means seraphim in the Kosh, and this was a very smart entity kind of put Eve up on game. But nah, man, like, y'all should definitely book a session. Yeah, email right down below. I just gotta y'all emailing now. I got y'all. I'm gonna send y'all the link. Tap in, man.
Right.
The link. The link I'm sending y'all. You're gonna see the link, the book session with the high priest, and also a link for my apparel situation. But hit the link to book your session. It's very easy. Sign up for it. And the brother already told you already, it's like 3-4 hours. We're giving y'all like quick 5-minute readings right now, just off your name.
Yeah, it's a lot going on with y'all, man. Y'all need this. Because who better else to study than yourself? Samuel Dalton Shanks. So okay. So let's talk about what you don't have, Samuel, because this is one of the things that you gotta be. So people with your type of energy, you really gotta think things through. That means that you gotta write down things that come to your mind. When the things come to your mind, you need to write them down. You need to keep a journal of everything that you write down and stuff like that, because you'll wind up making decisions that you regret. And usually, when you make these decisions that you regret, it's almost like you'll hold on to those past mistakes that you've made, but you shouldn't let it take you over. You should allow yourself some type of grace, and it comes out in your temper of the things that you regret, because you'll jump into things without thinking first. When you jump into these things without thinking, obviously you wind up setting yourself up for scams, or setting yourself up for terrible mistakes or accidents and things of that nature. Now, what I would say to you is that, this causes a lot of, trust issues as well. But at the same time, you have to write down the things that are on your mind. That's how you're going to get yourself out of that, making mistakes or things that you may regret. So the more things you write down, that means you need to write books. You need to write speaking engagements. You need to be speaking. You need to be talking. You need to get into the research and the wisdom of things. Research, and practice. The less you practice, the worse you get. The more you practice, the better you get. So people with your type of energy, you got to put in some real practice so you can master what you know. I hope that helps. Who else up there?
Knocking them down. Hey, listen, man.
I know Robert was talking. Robert, man, I told you, man, you the master. You got that master. You got the 33rd. You're a master teacher. Things come to you from a spiritual perspective, bro. Like, real talk. Like, your spiritual understanding is on a whole nother level, man. Most people, like, I would like to sit and talk to you, because I want to ask you questions of what's going on with me, because you psychic. Like, you see, you tap. You know what I'm saying? Because things come to you, you don't even know how it came to you. It just sounded good for the situation or whatever you was talking about. You be blowing your own mind. You be like, God damn, did I just come up with that? You did, because you tapped in like that. Because you got the 33rd master teacher, wisdom. People like you should be teaching classes on the arts, the metaphysics, the spiritual, the connection. Because you would see things on a global scale. You on a global scale, you see, and you also tapped into that spiritual master energy. You pick up things you can't even tell other people because it goes right over their head. But it's beautiful though. You're always trying to help people, man. So the question is, get in that email so I can help you to understand more about that. Because you got some powerful stuff. Who else? Who's next? He said, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Hey, they ain't got no choice. Like, yeah, that's true. You got me.
Yeah,
You
that's
got me.
true. Yo, like, yo, you know, you talking about these gods and these beings. That's him. These are the fallen angels stuck on Earth. Like Roberts, they came back to help humanity advance. Because they're like those light workers. They're the light workers that came back to fix the problems in the world. He feels it. When I say he feel it. Like he tapped in. He hurts when the world. He could feel the earth crying. That's how tapped in he is. Like you could feel the earth crying. Yes, that guy, Robert. He can feel the earth crying. Now, let me tell you about another Robert. You know, you ever heard of Robert Greene, right? M.O.I.
Yeah, Robert Greene.
Yeah, he wrote them books called The 48 Laws of Power, the Strategies of War, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's the kind of energy this kid got, this Robert. Like, they write books on trying to fix and solve problems like that.
Damn.
Be like, yes.
All right. So listen, man, y'all hit that email address, moipodcast@gmail.com. I send you a link right over right now. I got about 3 or 4 people hit me up already. They already got the link. They tapping in. Let's go.
Yo, yeah, Samuel. What did you think about that, man? I didn't get no response back. I feel like you left.
You ran them off, man. You ran them off.
Yo,
hey, when it gets real, you be like, you know what?
Samuel, what happened?
You ready for that?
What happened? You ready for it? Because he competitive. He definitely ready for it. This man don't like losing, man, especially when it comes to things that he didn't think through. When he takes a loss, it's a hard hit for him. He can't afford. He's one of the people that just can't afford to take losses.
Wow.
It throws him off so bad. But it's coming from not thinking things through. And that's a karmic debt that he's dealing with. So when he's trying to be a leader, but because of his quality of research or his quality of thinking things through, kind of like it puts a blemish on his leadership.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's it deep.
Yo, it's crazy.
That's deep.
It's crazy, bro. Samuel ain't responding, though. He ain't responding. I think I said too much. I'm gonna be quiet. I ain't gonna say too much.
No, you good, man. Well, listen, y'all. We're gonna get up out of here, man, with the 2 hour and 20-minute mark. Definitely hit that email, man. Book a session. I mean, I'm watching the brother over here just tearing y'all up on the name joint. I call it name calling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Name calling. And we seen the demo earlier. We took it to the whiteboard with it. I think it's just me. It's me. And I'm not trying to make you overwork.
bro, it's whatever, man.
It's just
fun
something about
too.
that whiteboard. When
Something
people
about
see
that.
people demonstrating on the board, it's like an instructor or a teacher or a professor, and it's like, damn, he had my name on that board. Like just hearing what you saying is powerful, all by itself, in the name. But it's something about those ciphers. You be like,
Yeah.
damn, you know what I'm saying?
What we need to do is that we probably need to do like a private Zoom, because
Yeah,
to teach this is a lesson. I could break it down. So
gotcha.
if people want to get on a private, we might, me and M.O.I. will come up for those that are interested in learning more about the information. We could do a private event on Zoom. We'll get into a nice lesson for at least 5 to 6 hours, breaking it down. And you can learn this information. And what the Bible said, what Jesus said, even you could do greater things than me.
There you go.
So
Come
we'll
on,
see
man.
if the demand is there. We'll figure it out.
Yes. So let's set up a private Zoom joint.
Yeah,
You get y'all on here.
do it private. We gotta do something private. And we ain't gonna break it over the head. We might do something nice, a good price, but we gotta make sure that the numbers are there. Like we ain't gonna be doing it for like 10 people. Nah.
Right.
We gotta make sure. We'll do it for a nice price, but we gotta have a lot of people participate. So if y'all want this, we gotta at least get anywhere between we need at least 100 people in the class. At least 100. And we'll do it for a nice price. Trust me, it won't even break your pockets.
Wow. Well, listen, man, out of your mouth to God's ears, it's already happening. It's already in play. Y'all want it. We got it. We're bringing it to y'all. Hit that email for your private session. I'm sending you the link right to you. Every Sunday, we're tapping in. We're tapping in every Sunday right here. We're going to also have Fridays. Sisters, circle back on Fridays. Brothers and sisters, tap in on Sunday. Okay? They give y'all the whole week to study. Study yourself mostly. Give you a whole week to study yourself. Tap in with yourself for the whole week. We show up to class on Friday and Sunday. We're ready for you. All right. Anything else when we get out here, bro? Any closing remarks you got?
Hey, man. Y'all stay blessed, man. Learn more about yourself because it's so important, man. This will determine on what type of relationships you get into, your finances, how you lead, how you follow, how you communicate, how you work, how you think, how you show up for humanity and serve the world that you live in. Man. So ain't nothing more important than you learning more about yourself. And that's all I got to say from the high priest. Peace and blessings.